Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to do a quick update in my Hobonichi Weeks Mega. This is the planner that I moved into in December of 2021, so it'll be about a 2-month update. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you've probably noticed that I've been picking up and adding additional planners to my lineup and kind of experimenting. I don't really know which ones are going to stick this year and how they are all going to work together. So I will be doing kind of some individual setup flips coming soon. One of my Hobonichi cousin up here in the corner, and then probably one of my pocket rings I'm thinking as well, but I figured today I would show you kind of the one thing that I have been using for the last couple months, and I've been staying pretty consistent with it, even though I'm just kind of playing around with some other things. So let's get into it here. This is in a Vanderspec VDS Janet Leather Brown custom cover. I purchased this one secondhand from a friend. So I don't have all the specifications, but there is no back pocket, and this is called the Nomad pocket configuration. So I imagine this would have to be ordered through email from Vanderspec. In here I've got a couple pieces of deco. I've got a Pokemon card from my husband's childhood stash and a laminate from Aloe's Creative Corner over on Instagram. I think she's got an Etsy shop too. Vax cards, usually have my credit card and my ID in here, but haven't been doing that lately. I have a supplement pad in the inside pocket here. This is from Hobonichi, and that's what I've been using as my prayer journal. And I have been doing all my writing using my usual Pilot Vanishing Point in Extra Fine, which is a fountain pen inked with Atramentis Archive Ink. If you're new to Hobonichi, I would really recommend the Uni Jetstream, which is a ballpoint pen that they ship with it, and then you can pick it up in various sizes. But that's kind of the best consistent entry-level pen that I would recommend for the Tomoe River paper. I'm going to pull this out because I did get a few questions on this on one of my last videos. I have my Hobonichi Weeks Mega. This is the Sunshine Yellow cover, and I have it in a clear cover from Hobonichi. So front is fully intact, but the back I've actually trimmed down off the top and the bottom, so it's like a book jacket, and I start about mid-spine on the top and the bottom and kind of curve them in. And that's how I get this to fit into the Vanderspec cover without trimming it, without like customizing the height of the Vanderspecs. I didn't customize it on this one because I bought it secondhand anyway, but this is the same thing I do when I put it in my Hobonichi Forbidden Fruits cover as well. Okay, so let's get into the actual planner here. I've got a photo that I printed using my Polaroid zip in the front. These are sticky notes from Midori. I found mine on Jet Pens, just some white post-it notes. I found those on Amazon. I use this sort of as my inbox, so quick notes, things I want to remember. That's kind of where that gets written down. From there, we've got the year at a glance, and I use this to track my paydays. They're underlined using a gray fine liner, and then I'm tracking my travel on here using 4 Tombow colors here. So we had one trip, and then my husband had a trip, so here's kind of my key if you're curious. I'm also marking my current month using a Zig Clean color dot. I think that one is in Summer Sun. Next spread is the future log. I've used this to track 3 things so far this year, and this is working out pretty well. I did start this in December, so I wrote 2021 over the top of this one, and I did this last year knowing that if I stuck with the weeks, I'd move over right away, so I wasn't too worried about it. But I track my workouts down here on the side, just like either write it in really small or 4-letter code. One of my goals is to try and work out every day, so I am like summarizing how many days and what that percentage is, so hopefully I'll see growth throughout the year. I also track my average weight at the top. I've written in the fiscal week numbers using that same gray fine liner. It's a uni pen in light gray, so I just track that at the end of the week. And then the third thing that I've added is tracking when I close my move ring on my Apple Watch, and I'm just using that Zig Clean color dot to kind of mark the kanji for the day of the week if I close my rings. So you can tell we've been not doing super great on that in January. Okay, so then we have the monthly spread. So this is a monthly, weekly planner with 215 notes pages. If you're not familiar, you'll kind of see the layouts as we flip through, but it is a Monday start. Month on 2 page. I use this section as a running to-do list. I track my traveling with a Tombow. This is Tombow 228, and then otherwise this is birthdays, anniversaries, events and appointments is typically that gets put on here. I don't use a lot of stickers. This one here is from Caffeine and Paper Co., and this one is from Randy.Plans. I had my goals down here at the bottom, and then a quote and a little doodle. I do use these metal bookmarks throughout, so let me talk about these. These are called Midori index clips. I can put that in the bar below. I get mine from JetPens, but if you Google Midori index clips, I think like the first 5 links, you can find them available. JetPens, they're frequently sold out, but they do restock them. So every time I'm on the site, I just check and see if they're around. These are in the silver. They are repositionable, so I can kind of move them from month to month. They will slightly kind of chew up the edge of the pages if you're not careful. Like I'll show you this one here when we get to the back. I just kind of protect the page with some washi tape underneath them, but I like them. I like that they don't stick out past the edge of the cover, so they're a little bit more low profile. January, I did sort of this like snowy cottage house little motif because I've been really liking the little like house washi tape from the Coffee Monsters Co., but I didn't want to pick it up. So I kind of drew my own. I've done better. I ticked off the days of the month this month. Might go back and do that in December, but I use it the same way. Running to-do list, goals at the bottom, birthdays, events, appointments, travel is kind of what this is for me. And then I pre-plan from there. So birthdays, I kind of wrote in at the beginning of the year. Anything I need to do, I just kind of real time fill it in. Deadlines come up, events get stuff, I just kind of write as I go, and then I will cross it off if I get canceled. This is like a really like, it's a floating, we don't know when this is going to happen, so I just put on a sticky note so I wouldn't have to keep canceling and rewriting it. But overall, monthly is still working really well for me, and I like the size of the boxes. All right, so next let's move into the weekly spreads. There are a couple tweaks to the spread that I've done compared to last year. This was the very first weekly spread. I did move in on November 29th. I actually managed to do no stickers this week, which was kind of fun. But let me just talk through the things that, how I use this layout for those that maybe haven't seen it before. I draw a line kind of down the center here. I do that in pencil. This inner column I use for all day events and appointments. This column I do for date-specific tasks. This innermost column is for highlights of the day. I usually do 2 to kind of go along with each day. I have a tracker, a running to-do list, and then one of my goals is to sketch something every week down here. I do keep track of the notes pages for my daily logs that correspond with this particular week. So my daily started on page 30 and my last daily for this week started on page 31. So that's kind of how I can kind of thread those together. And this is the layout I pretty much used all year last year, and I really liked it, so I'm continuing it into this year. But as I picked up last year's Hobonichi Weeks to start referencing and looking back and trying to find events, memories, notes, and things like that, there's a couple things I realized right away that I was struggling with. First, I do a lot of like pen only in these spreads. I tend to limit myself to like 3 or 4 stickers per week. And that is primarily because this is a little bit of a smaller planner than I was used to using. In the past, I've always kind of archived in a Hobonichi Cousin, which is this A5 vertical spread. So there is a lot more real estate for me to pull in a character sticker or doodle sticker or an icon, things like that. And I didn't realize how much my brain actually relies upon those stickers to find information pretty quickly. So the 2 things I'm trying to actively do to make this a little bit more functional for me next year is doodle in a little icon whenever I can think of something that's going to take me a couple seconds. So for example, we had something arrive in the mail that I need to remember, so I drew a letter. We used some Audible credits. So I drew in like a pair of headphones. Football for a Vikings game. I drew in this like teeny tiny mixed drink because we had a date night and I really like the drink. So if I can do a quick little doodle icon type of thing, I'm adding that so that my brain sees them and it kind of draws my eyes to it a little bit faster than the text. I'm still using stickers for like the most important things that I want to stand out and remember. And the last thing I'm doing is I'm going back and I'm highlighting specific events. I tend to do like all my events down in the row, so in a way they kind of stand out, but like I need to remember that we went to the Department of Revenue at 8 a.m. versus I had a training that I conducted at work. So I want this one to stand out at me, and I'm just highlighting those with Tombows. Last change I've made is I'm kind of taking this page number threading one step further. I got this idea from Melanie from Addicted to Planning. She's got some really genius Hobonichi Weeks videos. I definitely recommend checking them out if you have not. But as I was like looking in last year's weeks, I would kind of, first of all, filter through all the text, think, okay, yeah, this is the day I'm interested in, but I want to see the whole picture. So inevitably I'd want to flip back to my daily to-do list. And I was flipping through, 2 or 3 pages until I found the daily I was looking for. It's not that big of a deal, but I thought I could expedite that threading by just putting which day the day specifically starts on right down below kind of where the moon symbol is. So if I want to find Tuesday the 7th daily page, that starts on page 30 of the notes in the back of this planner. So, okay, hopefully that makes sense. Let me just kind of flip through so you can kind of see. I do use Tombow to track when I'm out of town, so I did a fair amount of traveling in December and early January. This was fun. I found a bronze Uni-Ball gel pen. So it's like a rose gold copper color. Got this like new mint green Tombow. I can put the number down below. Really like that. We got a new couch. Got back on my doodle game. That was fun. And this is the current week, and Pokemon Legends came out, so as you can tell, I'm a little bit obsessive there. I break in all these spreads kind of at the beginning of the month, so usually I will go in and I'll say, okay, let me add my doodle in January, brain dump anything else I need to do, pull in my goals for my power sheets, update my goal habit tracker in the back, and then I say, okay, here's everything I need to do. Let me start breaking it in across the weeks, and I kind of put in all these events ahead of time, so then I'm more of a real-time planner, I think is probably the best way to put it. So if it's the 18th and I think it's something I need to do on the 27th, I just go in and I wrote it in on the 27th instead of queuing it up until I did like a plan with me the Friday before this week started. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so in the back we have 215 notes pages in the Mega, and I use this as a bullet journal. If you saw my setup video, I've got my sort of vision board for the year, my 7 goals that I've set out to do this year, my index because I am an indexer, and then another tab that I've got a piece of washi under. This is kind of the tab that takes the most abuse because it'll hit my pen loop, so I do that to reinforce it. But yeah, so habit tracker still going well. I've got my cycle tracker, my plant-based tracker, cleaning checklist. I did highlight out the weeks we were out of town, so I knew why they were blank. Monthly cleaning checklist and adulting checklist still working out pretty well. Reading tracker, read a few books over the last couple months. Finance overview spread, date log, things I need to remember for my husband. Wish list is still working pretty well. I think I'm finding I'm writing down things after I purchase them and then trying to figure out what I'm going to get rid of, but it's serving half of its purpose, I guess we can say. Inventory log, haven't really been using. Shopping list I do use pretty regularly. Check register for my fund money, things that get charged to the wrong account. Package tracker, so you can see I use a fair amount. I did add a run tracker in, and then we move into my dailies. So one of the things I'm doing a little bit different this year is I'm tabbing where my dailies start. Again, I'm just trying to make this threading work a little bit faster. These tabs are from the Coffee Monsters Co. and the Autumn Colorway. And basically what I do in the back here is this is my daily to-do list. I get asked a lot, what's the difference between planning here and here? This is basically a dashboard. So all my pre-planning happens here. And then the night before the 29th, I say, okay, let me flip back to the 29th. And I say, all right, what are my events? What do I need to do today? What do I want to tackle for my running list? Put all these down, brain dump any other tasks I need to do throughout the day, and then I spend my entire day here. I add in a couple like highlights, memories, a doodle, and then at the end of the night I say, yep, let's flip back here. Did all those things. Thought of something that I need to do Thursday. Let me write that down. Actually, I need to do something next week. Let me put it over here. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. And then I always set them up the night before, but this is where the majority of my time ends up being spent. I also have this is Pokemon Diamond log that I set up. I add in doodles, a couple stickers, some hand lettering. Really my goal is 1 doodle per page, no more than 2 stickers per page, and 1 hand lettering per page. I do average 3 days per week, and I do daily logs and collections and a little bit of journaling all in line with each other. These are Pumpkin Paper Co. if you're curious, Paper and Milk, we saw Black Widow, Happy Day, the Coffee Monsters Co. Bought some pens. I just swatched them directly in the day, which I thought was kind of a fun way of doing that. I might do that more. Yoga with Adrian, Yoga Tracker. Need to go back and fill out. Yeah, so a little bit of doodles and things like that as we kind of go. Memory keeping. It's a fun hybrid. I really enjoy this overall layout. I think one thing I'm noticing is that I'm kind of missing the structured of a true daily page that I'm seeing like within my pocket rings, for example. But overall, this has worked, you know, really well for me. So yeah, enjoying it. Started Pokemon Legends last night, so I'm currently on page 48. I do block out 15 pages per month is what I average, and I just go ahead and kind of put that page in so I know if I'm hitting my mark or not. So today is the 29th. I've got 2 days left in the month. That'll easily fit on that page. So that leaves me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 extra pages than I thought I was going to need before hitting February. So that just lets me know, hey, if I want to set up another collection or a tracker, I definitely have room to add those in. Last thing is in the back, if you saw my setup video, I did print these out. These are the monthly plan insert from SMPlans in pocket size. I just print these and glue these, and this is my habit tracker for the month, and it's also like my goal check-in page daily. So this was December's, the My 100 I used to keep track of all the sketches I'm doing this month. I'm trying to do 100 this year, or this year, not this month rather. And yeah, so here is January. So clearly didn't make any progress on these, but I do have all 12 of these back here print and ready to get me through November of 2022, and then a pen test page. The only other change to mention is I've kind of stepped away from a separate work planner. I found that putting it in a separate planner, I really only can balance 2 books effectively, and I wasn't reaching for it because I'm really trying to prioritize my journaling this year. So I did go back to doing my work planning just in one of these supplements, again from Hobonichi, that I just tuck in the back here. And yeah, that's been working out fairly well. If you guys have any questions, let me know down below. If you've made it this long, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.